Hello, beautiful friends. Welcome back to 365 Days of Love and Miracles with A Course in Miracles. My name is Arlene Garris, and I am so glad that you are here. Please remember to listen right until the very end because we have a special treat for you. And if you enjoyed today's video, please click like and subscribe down below because this helps others to find us on YouTube. Today's lesson is lesson number 139. I will accept the atonement for myself. This is the first time that the word atonement has been used in our daily lessons. Let's talk about this word. Atonement. At one-ment. At one with God and all of creation. Do you have any trouble accepting your oneness, your unity with God and all of creation? If you still have some resistance to the idea, you may want to do some praying and meditating on it. Maybe do some journaling. We are truly at one with each other. You and I are at one. We are one with God and all of creation. We have been since the beginning of time, and we will continue to be on into eternity. We are literally part of the same whole, just as a drop of water in the ocean is part of the ocean. You and I are like that drop of water. If we take ourselves out of the ocean, then we lose our power and strength. But when we remain in the ocean of God's love, we are connected to that source of power, love, and strength. Let's read today's lesson. Here is the end of choice, for here we come to a decision to accept ourselves as God created us. And what is choice except uncertainty of what we are? There is no doubt that is not rooted here. There is no question but reflects this one. There is no conflict that does not entail the single simple question, what am I? What am I? What are you? Do you ever ask yourself that question? I think this journey of self-discovery is one that we all must undertake at some point in our lives. It's an existential question, but one that each one of us must answer for ourselves. Who am I? What am I? I'm so grateful that the Course gives us a very clear answer to this question. Let's read on. For who could ask this question except one who has refused to recognize himself? Only refusal to accept yourself could make the question seem to be sincere. The only thing that can surely be known by any living thing is what it is. From this one point of certainty, it looks on other things as certain as itself. Let's talk about it. From this one point of certainty, it looks on other things as certain as itself. Once we know who we are, once we come home to God and we are grounded in the truth of who we are as God's beloved children, then this is the vantage point from which we want to look out and see the world and see other people, places, and things. It gives us a completely different perspective than when we look from the eyes of the ego. Let's read on. Uncertainty about what you must be is self-deception. On a scale so vast, its magnitude can hardly be conceived. To be alive and not to know yourself is to believe that you are really dead. For what is life except to be yourself? And what but you can be alive instead? Who is the doubter? What is it he doubts? Whom does he question? Who can answer him? Let's talk about it. You may want to journal on these questions. What is life except to be yourself? And what but you can be alive instead? Interesting questions, don't you think? I encourage you to take the time to really ponder these questions. Let's keep reading. He merely states that he is not himself, and therefore, being something else, becomes a questioner of what that something is. Yet he could never be alive at all unless he knew the answer. If he asks as if he does not know, it merely shows he does not want to be the thing he is. He has accepted it because he lives, has judged against it, and denied its worth, and has decided that he does not know the only certainty by which he lives. Let's talk about it. Our ego doesn't want us to see the truth of who we are. Our ego wants to keep us stuck in this idea that we are these isolated little bodies traveling around through the world, getting hurt, getting beat up, trying to protect ourselves because we're so full of fear about what might happen, what other people might say or do to hurt us. Thank goodness that we have a completely different point of view. We're able to look through God's eyes, the eyes of love, and see ourselves and others as God sees us. God sees you and God sees me as perfect, unblemished, completely sinless. We are as God created us at the very beginning of time, and we will continue to be that perfect, unblemished spirit on through eternity. Let's keep reading. Thus he becomes uncertain of his life, for what it has been denied by him. It is for this denial that you need atonement. Your denial made no change in what you are, but you have split your mind into what knows and what does not know the truth. You are yourself. There is no doubt of this, and yet you doubt it. But you do not ask what part of you can really doubt yourself. It cannot really be a part of you that asks this question, for it asks of one who knows the answer. Were it part of you, then certainty would be impossible. Let's talk about it. When we see through the eyes of the ego, we are uncertain of who we are. We might think that we are our job. We might think that we are our role in life. We might think that we are our gender. We might think that we are our nationality or our culture. These things do not define us. They cannot define pure, perfect spirit, because this is who we are. Once we grasp this, then we no longer have to ask the question. We are sure of who we are, and yet the ego so badly wants to keep us stuck. The ego does not want us to see the truth. Let's keep reading. Atonement remedies the strange idea that it is possible to doubt yourself and be unsure of what you really are. This is the depth of madness, yet it is the universal question of the world. What does this mean, except the world is mad? Why share its madness in the sad belief that what is universal here is true? Just because everybody else believes it doesn't mean that we have to believe it. This makes A Course in Miracles countercultural. I love that. I've been a rebel my whole life, so I love this idea. Just because the idea that we are these individual ego selves is universal doesn't make it true. This is so important to remember in this day when we have a deluge of news. Half the world seems to be listening to one TV station and the other half seems to be listening to a completely different one. One TV station is telling one story, the other TV station is telling a completely different story. The problem that we have is that we align ourselves with one thought or the other, and because it is coming from the TV station that we like, we accept it as true. One of the most important things that we need to remember to do these days is to always check our sources. Check and make sure that the source is reputable. We want to know that whatever we are accepting as true is in fact the truth. Now, the only thing that can be 100% true is God. The things of this world are never going to be 100% true. Let's remember that. Let us not get caught up in the lies of the ego that wants to keep us separate. That is the ego's game. That is what's going on when we have these two very different points of view. The news channel of the left and the news channel of the right. Neither one of them are telling God's truth. Let's read on. Nothing the world believes is true. It is a place whose purpose is to be a home where those who claim they do not know themselves can come to question what it is they are, and they will come again until the time atonement is accepted and they learn it is impossible to doubt yourself and not to be aware of what you are. Only acceptance can be asked of you. For what you are is certain. It is set forever in the holy mind of God and in your own. It is so far beyond all doubt and question that to ask what it must be is all the proof you need to show that you believe the contradiction that you know not what you cannot fail to know. Is this a question or a statement which denies itself in statement? Let us not allow our holy minds to occupy themselves with senseless musings such as this. Let's talk about it. All of the beginning lessons were helping us to see that nothing that the world believes is true. What I see is not real. This table is not real. And on those beginning lessons went. Nothing the world believes is true. It's all an illusion. When we accept this, it makes all of the insanity that goes on in the world so much easier to accept. We don't need to get caught up in it. We can return home and be at one with God. This is the atonement. This is where we get our peace. This is where we lose the fear and the anxiety of what is going on in the world. Let's keep coming back, keep coming back, keep coming back. This is where our healing is. This is where we find relief from the insanity of the world. Let's keep reading. We have a mission here. We did not come to reinforce the madness that we once believed in. Let us not forget the goal that we accepted. It is more than just our happiness alone we came to gain. What we accept as what we are proclaims what everyone must be along with us. Fail not your brothers, or you fail yourself. Look lovingly on them, that they may know that they are part of you and you of them. What a beautiful section. We are one. We are not doing this work for ourselves. We are doing it for the world. We're doing it for all of our brothers and all of our sisters. We go together, you and I. I have spent a lot of time in prayer about doing these videos. I have to ask myself, what is the purpose of doing the videos? Of course, I'm hoping to get to know all of you better and hoping that you will get to know me. The real benefit is that I am healed, and as I am healed, I heal everyone that I come into contact with, that I think of, and even those I do not know. When you are healed, you heal the world. This is a main concept of A Course in Miracles and a great motivation to keep on going. Let's keep reading. This does Atonement teach and demonstrate the oneness of God's Son is unassailed by his belief he knows not what he is. Today, accept Atonement not to change reality, but merely to accept the truth about yourself and go your way rejoicing in the endless love of God. It is but this we are asked to do. It is but this that we will do today. Are you willing to do this, my friends? Are you willing to go on your way rejoicing and just letting God's love shine out of you? Have you accepted the atonement for yourself? Don't worry if you're not all there. We are not even halfway through the course at this point, and we have the rest of our earthly lives and on into eternity to continue to work these principles, to continue to accept them as being the truth for us. Let's keep reading. 5 minutes in the morning and at night we will devote to dedicate our minds to the assignment for today. We start with this review of what our mission is. I will accept the atonement for myself, for I remain as God created me. We have not lost the knowledge that God gave to us when he created us like him. We can remember it for everyone, for in creation are all minds as one. And in our memory is the recall how dear our brothers are to us in truth, how much a part of us is every mind, how faithful they have really been to us, and how our Father's love contains them all. Let's talk about it. When we remember that we are one with God and all of creation, we remember it for everyone. What we do counts. Who we are counts. Coming home to God counts. We are at one with God and all of creation. We accept the atonement for ourselves, and this has a mighty impact on the world. Let's keep reading. In thanks for all creation, in the name of its creator and his oneness with all aspects of creation, we repeat our dedication to our cause today, each hour, as we lay aside all thoughts that would distract us from our holy aim. For several minutes, let your mind be cleared of all the foolish cobwebs which the world would weave around the Holy Son of God, and learn the fragile nature of the chains that seem to keep the knowledge of yourself apart from your awareness, as you say, I will accept the atonement for myself, for I remain as God created me. Let's talk about our practice sessions for today. We are asked to have 2 5-minute practice sessions in which we start with today's idea. I will accept the atonement for myself, for I remain as God created me. And then just to sit in silent meditation for the remaining 5 minutes. Well, as usual, we are also encouraged to stop every hour and just remind ourselves, I will accept atonement for myself, for I am still as God created me. We are encouraged in these practice sessions to just stop and to let our minds be cleared of all the foolish cobwebs which the world would weave around the Holy Son of God. Let these cobwebs be swept away. We don't need them. Thanks so much for listening right until the end, my friends. If you enjoyed today's video, please share the love. Tell others about these videos. Encourage them to start at lesson 1 and only do 1 lesson a day. Are you ready for our special treat?
Yeah. Good girl.
You go, Tiger. You go. Go, Tiger. Yeah, you got it. You're killing it. You're killing it. I will accept atonement for myself, for I am still as God created me. Have a day of feeling at one with God and all of creation, my friends. I love you.